Hey, Tommy's here. Pinto Beans is here. Hey, guys. Oops. Let's make sure we can see everything nicely here. That's pretty good. Let's make sure our audio sounds okay, guys. This wind is really not my favorite. Is that readable? Oh, it's cold, guys. It is cold. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Oh, it actually sounds good. Look at that, guys. Hey, Jamin's here. All good, Jamin. Hope you're having a better afternoon than morning. How about that? And oh, you can always send me a message, bro, if you're having a tough time. If anybody of you guys are struggling or just need somebody to talk to, I am happy to be a resource. We're all in this together, right, guys? Alright, that looks pretty square and level. Hey, Adam's here. 33 days, my guy. Incredible work. Guys, seriously, clap it up for Adam. 33 days off the sauce. I can't imagine how much better you're feeling. And 57 for Pinto Beans, guys. Incredible work. Clap it up. Clap it up. Everybody doing what they can do. One day at a time, right, friends? That's all we can do. I can't promise that I'm going to make very many good golf swings today. I'm just going to be honest. Because I'm wearing a Michelin Man amount of layers to be out here. But you know what, guys? The important thing is that I showed up. Showed up for myself. I showed up for you guys. Told myself we were going to stream today. And that's what we're doing. Let's, a little bit more greenskeeping to do before we start hitting balls. I don't need to be hitting all these rocks. All right, a little better. Thanks, guys. Congrats, Pinto and Adam. Be proud. Yes, absolutely. The GOAT. Hey, Elias. Been a fight lately, but keeping my dukes up. That's all you can do, bro. One day at a time. Excuse me. You know, Adam, like I said to you before, sometimes you got to take it truly hour by hour. Just, you know what? I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to smoke. I'm not going to eat. Whatever it is. Sometimes you just got to go an hour at a time. It can be that simple. I've been studying recently, guys, for some of my work, my consulting work, and I have to break it into 20 or 25-minute chunks. I sit down, I do 25 minutes. It is crazy out here today. What irons are you getting? Strixon Z-Forged. Wow, very cool. Those Strixon clubs are supposed to be very good. Oh, Been a few days since I've been out swinging. Super proud of you guys, sticking to your guns, putting in the work. Like I always say, guys, I'm not ever going to tell you these things are easy, but they do get easier. The hard days get fewer and further between. You'll start to get more comfortable with a new identity. That's, again, I'm speaking about my own experience, but it probably took a few months, really, before I was like, you know what, I just don't think I'm a drinker anymore. At first, I just had to fight so hard for each day. Because it does get tiring, right, to think, man, is it gonna be this hard forever? And the answer is no, guys. It does get easier. But that voice is always inside of you. I hear it sometimes still, you know, if I have a really bad day or I'm really stressed, that voice is just saying, man, you could burn it all down again. You could just destroy everything you've built over the last 5-6 years. And you'd feel better very temporarily for like maybe an hour or two. And then I'd wake up with a hangover, full of regret. Sugar John still hitting in the hurricane. Hey Jake, welcome to the stream, my dude. Yeah, it's cold and windy out here, guys. This is not what you would call probably ideal golf conditions. But that's okay. You know, like I just was saying, not every day is gonna be sunshines and rainbows, and sometimes you just gotta show up and do some hard work anyway, right? It's my third attempt at quitting. I've been lucky to only have a couple cravings this time around. Bro be hitting in a tsunami and eruption, yeah. Practicing outside today, hell yeah. Yeah, Connor's here. Hello, Connor. We are, in fact, practicing outside today. I feel like the Michelin Man trying to swing. Been really trying to feel like I'm staying in my posture. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. Here's a tip. When you feel the craving, drink water or something else non-alcoholic. That's a great idea, Elias. I drank a ton of seltzer water, sparkling water, when I first gave up drinking. I don't know if it was the bubbles or just the habit of having, you know, a can in my hand, but that was a huge help to me. So great shout, Elias. I try to remember it's literal poison. That works too, bro. That will definitely work as well. Tell you what, guys. After the rain session I had a few days ago, it feels good to come out and hit balls and not feel them coming off the hosel. It's pretty encouraging. Because I'll tell you what, guys, it was very demoralizing. Is golf therapeutic for golfers? It definitely can be. I drink about 5 seltzer cans a day. Yeah, me too, bro. Me too. My wife and I get 2 cases every week with our grocery shopping, and it never seems to get through the week. I'll be honest, guys, I kind of hate the wind. I don't like how loud it is with this tent. I don't like how cold it is. Whenever I feel like having a beer, I just get a 6er of those Heine Zeros. Yeah, those are great too. Seltzers give me heartburn. They definitely can do that. They have a very low pH, I believe. All right, we'll probably do some towel drills, some paddle hand drills. I don't know if it's therapeutic for me, but it does occupy a lot of mental space. That definitely can work too, guys. Something to... A lot of... Again, I'm speaking about my own experience. So much about addiction is about, like, that obsession. Somebody commented on one of my videos recently. Something to the effect of, obsession are the hinges upon which the door of addiction swings. I was like, that's a pretty nice, succinct way to think about it. But golf can definitely fill that void, that place to channel your energy into. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. One nice thing, when you're wearing so many layers, your body does feel like it gets warm a little easier. Oh. It's very encouraging to be finding the club face with so much regularity. Don't you know, pump it up. All right, time for some paddle hands. Pinto, consider this Gatorade lemon, has a bit of acid taste. There you go. I agree, guys. You got to avoid the sugar if you can. There's sugar in frickin' everything now, it seems like. So whatever you can do to avoid the excess sugar, the excess calories, that's always going to be a good thing. Just like alcohol, guys, sugar is toxic to you. That's what diabetes is. You've reached toxic levels of blood sugar. Don't you know, pump it up. Gosh, talk about a song that'll get stuck in your head in about 2 minutes. But at the same time, sugar is so good. I love cookies and cake, ice cream. Don't you know, pump it up. Same thing I do with training, pretty therapeutic for me, so just wondering. Gatorade Zero, don't swap out one poison for another. Well said, Connor. Very well said, brother. Guys, drop in the chat what you're working on in your own game. If there are drills or things that we can work on together. Talk about, you know, whether it's a slice or your ball contact. And we're also going to get the launch monitor going. Do some wedge work with that. Being fat is better than being in a graveyard. Hey, Derek's here. Hello, Derek. Welcome to the stream, guys. We're doing some paddle hand drills here. Making sure that we are, you know, fully using our torso and body to put the energy into that club. Don't you know, pump it up. Pretty good rep there, guys. Man, I just wish it was warm. I miss being out here in shorts and a t-shirt. But you know what, guys? We only get to live today. And today it's cold, so we're going to make the best of it. It was a little thin, but turn was okay. Whew. Also, pretty exciting, guys. I have a feeling that we might have our very first equipment sponsor on the channel pretty soon. Working on some stuff behind the scenes, which would be fun. Nice little, just another one of those milestones that we talk about. Like when we hit, you know, 1,000 subs or 1 million views, or coming up on, I think, 9 million views now, guys, on the channel. 7,000 subs is our next milestone. Also, stay tuned to the channel, guys. There's going to be a longer video. It'll be a little different, just me talking to the camera, but talking about the future of the channel and some stuff we're working on. Sugar is worse for you than beer. Probably true. I think they can both be bad. How about that? Just say they're both bad. Sometimes my parents both have diabetes too. I'm lucky not to have it. There you go. Thanks, guys. I don't want to jinx it, Pinto Beans. How about that? I probably could, but I don't want to jinx it. So until it's like squared away. But you guys will be among the first to know. Whew. I'm working on playing for a while. It's too cold here. Sick of messing up my score with a 3-putt. Well, Jake, you know what to do. We've talked about putting strategy before. 2 skills you got to work on. I realize I just went like 2, but you can just see this. 2 skills you got to work on for putting. For short putts, you got to work on start line. Can you start the ball where you're aimed? And for long putts, you got to work on speed control. So everything from 10 to 60 feet, your goal is just to roll it as close to the hole as possible. Give yourself a nice, easy tap in. The 10% rule has really helped me understand expectations. So if you have a 50-foot putt and you hit it inside of a 5-foot circle, so even if you have a 5-footer left for par, that is an exceptionally good outcome. So 10% is your target, and you're just trying to give yourself a chance to make that next putt. Because our goal is 3-putt avoidance. That is the main thing that we're trying to do on those approach putts. And you'll find, if you hit, say you go to the putting green and walk off a 30-footer, so 10 steps, and hit 10 golf balls to that hole that you walked off. What you're going to notice is that your lateral dispersion, left to right, call it, is pretty narrow. Once you figure out the break, say you have a straight putt, you're going to be pretty good at aiming your ball at that hole. What you will notice, though, is that your vertical dispersion might be 6, 7, 8 feet, right? From, you know, the furthest one you rolled to the shortest one. And what we're trying to do, guys, is compress that vertical dispersion. We're trying to roll the ball as close to the desired distance as possible every single time. Thanks, guys. AD is here. Anybody 6'2", 230? Hoss. Softest hands. Just keep doing what you're doing, bro. Sounds like you don't need any assistance from me. But if you want to share some speed tips, I know my 3-iron doesn't go 280. I do have soft, supple baby hands, though. I'll tell you that. I love chipping and putting. Mostly chipping. I would say I like putting now. I've gotten good enough at putting where it's not actively ruining my day. Share your wisdom with me. I love it. Any drills you'd recommend for getting up and down more often? Great question, WikiWaka. Also, I saw your post, WikiWaka. Thank you so much for that a day or two ago. Showing some support on the channel, guys. I honestly didn't know you could do that. You can just write posts on the community page on the channel. So if you're interested in doing that ever, you just want to check in with me like Wiki Waka did, you're more than welcome to go and do that. But to answer your question, bro, what I would say is practice the way that you're going to play. So when you go to the chipping green, you can either kind of mindlessly, you know, hit chips and practice the same shot over and over again, or you can really think about what you're going to need to do on the golf course. So what I like to suggest is doing a combine. You can play 9 holes or even 18 holes if you have time. Every hole is going to be a par 2, 1 chip and 1 putt, and you're just going to keep track of how many times you successfully get up and down. Go through your whole process, evaluate the shot, evaluate the putt that you're left with, your, you know, and score yourself to par. So if you play 9 holes, it'll be par 18. If you get up and down half the time, you're going to shoot something like 22 or 23. And what you're trying to do is play as close to par as possible, get up and down the same way that you would need to, because you have that pressure like you do on the golf course. Because when you're just kind of, you know, dicking around, if you hit a bad one, you skull it across the green, you're like, oh man, I'll just grab another one. I'll just rake a ball, hit another one, who cares? But if you blade that ball across the green and you're like, man, I got to write this score down, I got to go chip it again, you know, now I'm looking at making a 4, maybe a 5, that's going to really quickly enforce the good habits that you want, and you're going to actually practice the thing you need to work on, which is getting up and down when you have one shot at it. That was kind of just hit right into there. You know, when you're only using one hand, they're not all going to be good. And then you hit a perfect one, just like that. Appreciate the feedback. I'll definitely focus on that 10% rule. Yeah, that one has really helped me, guys. Appreciate you, my guy. You're awesome. Thanks. Any distance range you'd recommend for the combine? I would say from 5 to 20 yards. You know, give yourself some... How about this? If you were standing on one end of the putting green, try to use the entire length of it. So you'll have maybe a cup that's like I said, 4 or 5 yards in front of you, and then you'll have some that you're going to that are maybe more like, you know, 15 to 20 paces away. And just try to replicate the shots you find yourself experiencing on the golf course. Some of them will be from the fairway, some will be from the rough. If you have access to a bunker, I definitely recommend incorporating that. Something I don't do a good enough job of is actually practicing my bunker shots. Boom. I like this drill a lot, guys, because it kind of reminds you the way your body wants to move. Imagine, I don't know if you guys know Speed Rob on Instagram, the Scottish guy who's always screaming, and he's like, the ball is flat. Imagine that the ball is flat. And he does these really intense affects, and but his content is amazing, because what he's really trying to do is just simplify golf. To say like, well, if I was trying to hit a bag or a box with this stick, right, and there wasn't a curved bit on the end, and I didn't care about the round ball or any of that, well, what would I do to hit that thing as hard as I could? I wouldn't like go like this, right? That wouldn't like really generate a lot of speed if I was trying to like really hit something that's right there. But if I went boom and I stayed here and I pivot, I mean, you can really smack something pretty hard. So don't let the round golf ball and the curved bit on the end of the stick mess you up. We're just trying to hit this thing squarely. If you imagine that the back of that ball was flat, like it was a cube, you wouldn't swing it like this. You wouldn't swing it away from the inside. You would try to get this flat surface on the flat surface and hit it straight. Right, guys? I got you, Wiki Waka. I missed who you were speaking about. Oh, I think his name is Rob. Speed Rob Marucci on Instagram. He's a Scottish guy, and he does golf instruction, but in a very, very unique kind of way. He's one of those people that you watch them on social media and you're like, I don't know why, and I could be wrong, but I feel so convinced that that is exactly how you are in real life. Like there's no acting or hamming it up for the cameras. I feel like that guy is just really fired up to teach golf in a relatable way all the time. Is water wet? Depends on the day, Frank. Oh, I don't have Insta. Well, that will do it. Sponsor would be huge, guys. Something else I've been thinking about a lot recently is... Somebody asked me a long time ago, like, what was the point of my channel? What is the point of doing all this? And I think at the time I gave some sort of vague answer about, you know, well, I just wanted to try it and I like making videos, or I like the idea of making videos. But I'm not sure there really needs to be a point. And I was thinking about that a lot recently because I think I finally know what the point is. And the point is to use this platform and to use golf to combat the stigma that exists around sobriety and mental health. The things that, if you guys have been here for a long time, you've heard me talk about before. You know, I'm coming up on 5 years alcohol-free, and that is the thing that truly saved my life more than anything. There was a version of me that was really depressed, getting, you know, pretty close to, if not fully blacked out, like almost every night. And, whoa. There definitely were times when I was like, you know what, I don't think it's worth it to continue living like this. To the point where, I haven't really talked about this much, but, I mean, I could tell you pretty definitively what it tastes like, you know, what the barrel of a loaded gun tastes like. You know, and so I've had some really dark times, but the whole point of this channel is to use that experience to channel and transform those hard things that I've gone through and overcome into something useful and helpful for other people. And I think we're doing that. All you guys who continue to check in with me and use this platform as a resource in your own recovery journeys, that's the point. The point isn't golf. Golf is just the vehicle. Because dudes like golf, and I love golf, and I'm doing it all the time, and I'm trying to get better, and there is some value to showing the progression of something over time. That's a lot of what we're going to talk about in the plan for 2026. To do, you know, like a year-long, more cohesive kind of approach to the channel so that, you know, you can track your progress, you can follow along. There will be some, you know, engagement check-ins, like places where you guys can, you know, share updates on your own story and stuff. Kalika, this is a pitching wedge, bro. We're doing the paddle hand drill, so I've got this mitten on. Doesn't allow me to really grip this club at all. I'm just kind of pushing on the back of it. And what we're practicing is driving the swing and the club with the lead side and the body and the lower body, right? So that we're not able to throw or cast this club on the way down. We have to learn how to just support it with the right hand. But still be able to generate speed and strike the ball. But it really does force the right hand to be much more passive, which is a thing that I've struggled with in terms of casting and flipping the club for quite a while. So that's a really good one. Thank you guys for being here. It really does mean a lot to me, all the support. You know, being able to tell those kinds of stories and not feel judged or uncomfortable. And I mean, always there's going to be trolls and people that aren't supportive, but for the most part, guys, I'm just incredibly blown away at all the support, and I'm so grateful for this community that we're building together, doing, you know, golf stuff, talking about sobriety, talking about mental health. I wrote this in a post recently, but I feel I've never felt so sure about what it is that I'm called to be doing. You know, using this platform, using my voice and experience to try to help people and try to share what I've learned. That has never been more clear to me. At the same time, it has never been less clear to me what that actually looks like. What are the next 12 months going to look like? What is my income going to look like? I don't have answers to any of these questions, guys. But I know that the mission is important enough, and it feels important enough to me, and enough of you guys are benefiting from it, that that's a risk I have to take, and I'm going to figure it out. I trust myself to figure it out. It doesn't mean it will be easy. There's going to be a lot of bumps in the road. I'm going to make mistakes. There's going to be setbacks. But it feels important enough to me that it's like, let's just do this thing. So your lead arm dominant, you should read into that. Erniel's the same. Tiger's the opposite. It's really good to know which one you are. Well, to be honest, Kalika, historically, I was mostly like feeling everything with the right hand, but it put so much pressure on my back to be like kind of throwing it and then extending and tilting and compressing this part of my lower back. So I spent a lot of time learning how to make my swing more rotational as opposed to like up and down and then tilting to get back to the ball. Because if I stay in my posture and I just turn and rotate, there's so much less pressure on my back, which is a thing that has caused me issues in the past. All right, guys, so towel drill here. We're trying to maintain the connection. Between our arms and the club. That was a really, really nice strike. I'm happy with that one. All right, guys, what do you say we turn on the launch monitor, see how far some of these balls are going? Whoa, okay. Still very cold out. RAPSODO MLM is what we're talking about. If you guys want to learn about the RAPSODO MLM or the other products that they have, check out the link in the description of the live stream or in my bio. You can find all the links there. You're going to find links also for the net return if you're interested in setting up your own at-home hitting setup with the best net you can buy. Get 10% off with my code on net return. And lastly, guys, I'm excited to announce that we're doing one-on-one coaching and lessons now with an app called Skillist, which is super cool, gives us great access to evaluation tools and ways that we can try to help you play the best possible golf. So we're going net, regular ball. I'm going to select the pitching wedge. All right. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. I could never swing with a lot of layers on. Well, it just depends how bad you want it, right, dude? Just depends on how bad you want it. And that's okay, guys. You know, there's plenty of people that are like, I want to play golf once a week. I'm totally fine being a 17 handicap. I have fun getting out of the house, getting some exercise. Golf does not have to be about shooting the lowest possible scores and trying to push yourself. It's just an option. It's the option that most closely resonates with me and what I want to do with golf, but don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. All right, 115 on that last swing. Whew. Man, this wind. Don't you know, bump it up. That swing felt really solid. Wow, 125 with the towel here. John, I'm decent hitting it straight. But when I miss, it's almost always a very low hook. Can you shed light on what may be causing this and what I can work on? Yeah, so if your miss is a low hook, right, what that's telling us is that you're probably de-lofting the club more than you would like. So leaning the shaft this way, causing that ball to come out lower. And the face is shut, right? So the face is pointed too far to the left at impact, which means when you're coming into it, it's going to launch and curve to the left. If you're a right-handed player, obviously if you're a lefty and you hook it, it's going right, but I stand on the correct side of the ball, so that's what we'll go with. What I love about this drill, guys, is especially for me, it forces me to feel like I'm staying in my posture on the way down. I can't go like this. I can't stand up. I have to stay in it. It's all about finding what works for you. Don't you know, bump it up. You got to pump it up. Oh no, we might have lost. No, we didn't. It's always my woods, my irons are straight. Well, Pinto, again, try to, next time you're on the range, maybe practice trying to hit some big high fades. Like, what would you have to do to get that, you know, I'm going to say 3-wood or 5-wood, whichever club it is, you know, launching higher and slicing to the right. You might have to feel like you're really like fanning the club face open and holding it off, but whatever you have to do to learn how to control that club face and path relationship into impact, I always think it's better to start at the extreme. So learn how, if you slice, learn how to hit a big hook. Just get the face really shut, slam it, see that ball going left. Conversely, learn how to hit a big slice. And then the straight one is just in between. So you're working on building a skill set, not just like, hey, here are the drills I do when I have X, Y, or Z issue. That was a good strike there, guys. 131 in the frozen temperatures. I don't know how to hit draws or fades. I haven't learned that yet. Well, that's what I'm saying, Pinto Beans. Next time you're on the range, you know, practice hitting some exaggerated big slices and big hooks. How about this? Next time, you know, when you're practicing your woods, your hybrid, your 3-wood, whatever club it is you're struggling with, aim at like the right edge of the, or maybe, you know, let's start aiming at the left edge of the range and see how far to the right you can curve it and try to over curve your ball the other way. These are just drills. This is not, you know, what you're going to do on the golf course, but it is important to develop that skill set so that you know reliably you can put either a draw or a fade swing on it when you need to. That was pretty good, I think. Why the towel under the arms? What are you working on? So this is for connection, Peter. I'm working on keeping the arms and the chest moving. My tendency sometimes is to pick up my arms in the backswing and get, you know, a steep arm plane. So I'm working on maintaining that connection. This drill is really going to help you learn how to turn and turn. Right? We're trying to make sure that this towel isn't falling, because if we get disconnected, right, it's going to fall. That's the feedback we're looking for. And you can start really slow and just learn how to chip some balls like this. And you can do that truly as much as you want. This is a wonderful drill, especially at slower speed, just to feel how we need the body to move. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. I think I wore enough layers, guys. I'm not as cold. Maybe my toes are a bit cold. But I expected it to be colder, honestly. All right, let's do some full swings. G'day, Legend. How does live work for you? Do people donate money? Awesome channel, by the way. Keep up the good work. How does it work for you? I'm not entirely sure I follow your question. People do occasionally give really nice donations, and I think they're called super chats. There's also a gift thing you can do now that I don't know a ton about, frankly. But if you're interested in supporting me, it's definitely an option. You can also support me by joining the channel. There are memberships available on the channel, and you get early access to videos and shorts, as well as bonus content for members only stuff. That was maybe one of the best feeling swings I've made in a while, guys. Let's see how that one looked. You're singing that song so much you're gonna get copyrighted. That's a funny comment, Pinto Beans. Don't you know, bump it up. Let's see how this swing looks. Yep, just up and down the plane. That is 100% what we're looking for. Can you make a full swing with this towel drill? Is it good for driver? Nice Ushanka, John. What's a Ushanka? Tell me. You can definitely do full swings with it. I like doing it like I was just demonstrating, more in that kind of 60 to 80% of a full swing range, because you are mostly trying to work on, you know, how your body and arms and the club are working and moving together. Not necessarily so much, did I hit the ball the full distance and at my target, right? That's a different skill set, a different, you know, area to practice. Oh, the hat. They'll have to collab now, John's new theme song. I know, we're gonna have to get back to Indiana Jones. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Whew! I can't feel my hands outside, so no swings. Jade's here. Hello, Jade. This is like the definition of grinding it out. My cutoff time is around 50. Any more layers of... Yeah, I've got like 4 layers up top, 3 down below, 2 pairs of socks, this gator thing, and my bomber hat. And it's not ideal, guys. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't rather be inside or doing some putting stuff with you guys, but that wasn't the best strike. But like I always say, guys, you guys show up for me and I'm going to show up for you. That was a nice strike. We're club twirling in the backyard, guys. That's... Sometimes you got to gas yourself up. You're out here grinding on a cold day. You know those Instagram challenges people do where they're like, I'll make one putt for every new subscriber that I get? I think I'm going to do that, but with bouncing the ball. Be like, if we get 10 new people, we'll do a series, we'll do 10 bounces in a row. But it could get dicey. I mean, if you have a big day and you get like 1,000 new followers, 1,000 bounces in a row, you could be out here for a while. Oh, I didn't hit it hard enough. Sorry, Jade, I'm taken. His whiteboard says 34 degrees. Yes, it does. I'm a 1 handicap right now, Peter, but it's because I haven't played much golf. Most of the last few years I played off of +1 or 0. This year we actually got up to like 2.5. That was the highest handicap I've seen on myself in quite a while, but there's good reasons for that. You know, I had some injuries, some illness, bought my first house. So the good golf will come. We put in a ton of work. We've done lots and lots of practice. Now it's just about executing and getting more reps and rounds in on the golf course. Good on you, mate. Genuine bloke giving genuine advice. Stay at it, you'll go far. Well, from Australia. Thanks, Jordy. Appreciate it. If you guys are enjoying the stream and you want to hit that subscribe button like Jordy, you know where to find it. It is still free, guys. It is still... They're still charging free $99 to subscribe. Now, if you want to be a member of the channel and get all the cool stuff, that costs a little bit of money. But it's a nice way to show support. The same way you might sign up for somebody's Patreon if they have content that you like and trying to support somebody. Same exact idea. So shout out to all of our channel members, Justin and Adam and Rez. Whole bunch of new people that have signed up for that option, which is amazing. I'm so grateful to you guys. It's one thing to, you know, watch these streams or check in or watch a video now and then. But for people to say, you know what, I'm going to take money out of my own pocket, especially in this economy, take money out of their own pocket to support me making this stuff, and they believe in the mission and the work that we're doing. Piece of validation I could imagine. Don't you know, bump it up. My handicap is 10. There you go. Good morning. Hey, JRT. Welcome to the stream, bro. We're doing our best to stay warm. Let's see how that swing looks. A little long, maybe, but the plane is excellent. I like the tempo. I'm a 5. Need to work on my short game to get to scratch. There you go. Rod's here, showing golf skill moves, I see. We're doing it, Rod. We're doing our best. You know what else we can do, guys? I'm going to grab a sand wedge, and I want somebody in the chat. We can take turns. You guys are going to have to share. But we're going to set this up and alternate the distances we're trying to hit it. So what I've done in the past is, say there's 75 people in the chat, we'll go 75 yards, and then somebody else will say, okay, how about 89? And I'll try to hit it 89 yards. So anything from like 50 to 115, call it. And we'll call out the yardage that it flies on the launch monitor. Hello, superstars. Hello, you. We've got some superstars on the chat today. On the stream, I should say. You guys are always superstars in the chat. I haven't golfed enough to get a real handicap, but my app says I'm an 18. Broke at 90 for the first time. That's amazing, Pinto Beans. Those apps are usually pretty good, like 18 birdies or the Grint. It's just a pretty basic formula to analyze the differential and, you know, the slope of whatever course you played and your score. Hey, you! You're in the danger zone! You're in the danger zone. Go find your brother. Yeah, that's good. I just tore my net down. The cold gusts are trying to steal it. Oh, that's not good. The ball can't fly as far in the cold. That is certainly true, guys. Absolutely right. Aw. Alright, guys, so we'll go 55 yards first. That'll be a good number to start on. And then you guys can tell me what comes next. $54, guys. That's pretty close to 55. That's very close to 55 in my book. Very happy with that initial effort. I just got an armband training aid to keep my swing more connected. That works great, Pods. We were just doing the towel drill, working on the same thing, trying to maintain that connection right between the arms and... Lily, leave him be, please. Got some crazy dogs out here. Hey! No, you're not supposed to be back there, buddy. Come on out. 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 Completely nuts. Alright, what's the next number, guys? Somebody give me a good number to hit. Jake said 73, and then Blake said 65. Alright, so we'll go 73, 65. Show me 73, guys. $80. 80's a little more than 73. But for swing number 2, could be worse. Alright, 65. Let's know, can you dribble with both arms? I don't know that I can. Alright, 65. I feel pretty good about 65 usually. What do you got for me? No read. It didn't pick it up. 65 is what we're looking for here, guys. Come on, 65. What are you using to get the distance? Great question, Pinto Beans. We have this RAPSODO mobile launch monitor set up behind me, which is a compact, portable Doppler radar system that analyzes the flight of the ball, and then it works with your phone or an iPad. The MLM2 Pro, I think, works with Android devices, but this one does need iOS. Nope. Might be getting too cold out here for our launch monitor, because it still is stuck on that last one. Too pure to process. Show me 65. 68. Now we got a read. There we go. Pretty close. 68 is good. Very distracted by these extremely energetic dogs that are sprinting around my backyard right now. Don't you know, pump it up. Guys, I can't thank you enough for being here on a very, very cold day. Come on, out. No, go inside. Nope. In. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Go find your mother, please. Man, nobody told them it was freezing out. Cal Fly and Max Fly are wrestling it up. The electronics don't like the cold. They definitely don't. Dogs love the stream. Alright guys, somebody drop me another number. Does your wife golf? She does not golf. She's extremely supportive though, which is cool. And she has her own hobbies and activities. Alright guys, we're gonna go 89 yards. That'll be a good number to shoot for. That should be pretty good if we got a good read. 86. 86 is pretty close to 89. I'm very happy with that. Oh. Alright guys, I need another target number. Somebody hook me up. Shout out to the supportive Golf Wives Rare Breed. I agree with that. Definitely agree with that. Let's try 89 again. That might be too far. That might be like 95. Yeah, 97. I knew I hit it too good. I told my wife how much money I saved not buying whiskey, and she used that money and bought me a driver. Hell yeah, dude. Supportive wives for the win. Absolutely, bro. Hell yeah. What a great way to frame it. I think I've saved, last I checked, coming up on $30,000. Blake says, my girlfriend resents my obsession and hates that I drag her to the range when it's in the teens outside. Well, there's probably a way you can get her on board. Maybe taking her to the range when it's freezing out isn't the first thing I would suggest. Do you feel your launch monitor is accurate? I definitely do. It seems very close to when I hit on TrackMan and the yardages that I see out on the golf course. And how about this, guys? Even better. When I practice my wedges here with the launch monitor, and I'm like, okay, that's what 90 feels like, and I hit 90, 90, 90, and then I'm on the golf course and I need to hit it 90, my distance control has been very, very good with my wedges. So, I was in the Marines, if you couldn't tell by my grammar. Well, I don't think anyone's occupation or former occupation predicates their spelling ability or grammar, Blake. But I do appreciate your service. Thank you, bro. Don't you know, pump it up. 90, there we go, guys. Much closer to 89. That is exactly what we wanted to see. What did you do in the Marines, bro? I spent a decent amount of time on bases growing up. What does that mean, not connected? Technical difficulties, maybe. Oh, no, I don't think so. I think we're still going. You should do tutorials for different clubs and reviews on golf products. That's an interesting idea. I'm not entirely sure that's where the future of my content lies. However, I do think it's a good idea. And I know there's lots of great YouTubers who do that kind of stuff. All right, guys, 89 yards. Unless somebody wants to give me a new number. That might be like 85. 84. Hard to be super dialed with this many layers on. You can start by saying what launch monitor you're using. This is a RAPSODO MLM, bro. Mobile launch monitor. There's a link in the description of the live stream. If you click on that, or if you click on my bio, there's a link. You can learn more about RAPSODO. Really cool launch monitor products. Sycamore says 115. All right, that's going to be a big full swing with this club. In the cold. Show me 115, guys. I don't know. It felt a little funny. Got nothing. 115. Still nothing. Gotta be honest, I can't imagine when it's this cold the launch monitor is gonna be super excited. I think the phone honestly might be more of the problem. Let's go the other way, 20 yards. We could try 20 yards. Yeah, we might be out of battery, guys. This is bad news. Let's try a little 20-yarder. Nope. We're fully gassed. Oh, no, just kidding. Look at that. 20 yards, guys. It's just taking a really long time. That must be because of the cold. And now I want to try 115 again. So we absolutely nailed that. Right on 20 yards. That was pretty cool. Let's try 115 again. What do we got? Anything? Still says 20 from the last swing. Zilch. Nada. Show me something one time. Don't you know, pump it up. All right, guys, I think we're going to go back to doing some drills because we've likely exhausted the available battery for these guys, fortunately. But definitely worth checking out. RAPSODO mobile launch monitor. Pair it up with your phone. Start figuring out how to hit it the right distance. You'll have a much more enjoyable time with your wedges on the golf course, and all your clubs for that matter, once you know how far they go. All right, so we'll grab a 7-iron, guys. This is my 7-iron. TaylorMade MB. 42 people in chat. Say hi, everyone. Help the algorithm. Yeah, guys, drop a hi, you can drop an emoji. You can drop like an ice, a wind emoji. These are the irons we're working with. There we go. All right, so how does this paddle drill work? That wear pattern is beautiful. Well, it's been lots and lots of practice, guys, to get them looking like that. I honestly want to do this drill some more so I can keep my hand warm. Kind of sick of the wind, I'm gonna be honest. I find it overstimulating. Hey, Poisha's here. I'm doing great. Price is here. Hope you're doing well, my friend. We're having a good day here, trying to stay warm. Got some high winds, some cold temperatures, but you know what? That can't stop us. JRT is here. What's your 3 favorite drills to do with a launch monitor? Just got the Garmin R10 for my birthday. That's very exciting, my dude. Thank you for your comment. I love, like I was just demonstrating, picking out target yardages with my wedges, so learning how to consistently, you start at like 50, 75, and then you would go 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, like you're trying to condense those distance gaps. So I would start there. Distance control is going to be a really good one. Maybe not a drill so much, but if you've never had a launch monitor before, I really recommend that you spend time mapping out your bag. So understanding, okay, my full swing pitching wedge goes X, 9, 8, 7, 6, right, all the way through the bag, so you know pretty definitively how far those clubs are going to go. All right, we're going to play one quick ad while we reset here. Sorry about the ads, guys. It's not a ton of money for me, but every little bit counts. So we're trying to build this platform, try to get to a point where we can spend the vast majority of our time hopefully doing this kind of work. Working on golf stuff, talking about sobriety and mental health, things that are important to me. I'm in the northeast part of the U.S., Price. How about you? Look at that. Look at that. Really, really quality strike. Basically with one hand on the club, right, guys? Oklahoma. Is it warmer in Oklahoma than it is here? I sneaky feel like it gets cold there. tell me this, Price. What are your most favorite and least favorite things about Oklahoma? My favorite thing about where I live is the people. Really, really nice people and supportive. Oh, that was a little off the bottom of the face. This part right here is my least favorite part, the freaking cold. It can get cold, but today is 65. That's not cold. I take 65 in a heartbeat. Least favorite is the people. I could see that. Don't you know, pump it up. Dallas, Texas, thanks for tempo tip a few weeks back. Helped me tremendously. You told me to pause the top of my downswing. I'm glad it worked, bro. That's awesome feedback, Eric. This has happened before a bunch of times, and it makes me so pleased to hear that people had a problem, they came to me for help, and then they, you know, are having more success. I mean, that's, as a teacher or a coach, the best thing you could ever hope for. And that's why I felt so strongly about starting to offer some one-on-one coaching, because I know it's not for everyone, and we're still going to do the streams and help people out for free. But I know for some amount of people out there, there is an appetite for, you know, more direct one-on-one engagement and coaching. And some people who are like, no, I want to play really good golf. I want to keep getting better. I want to lower my scores, lower my handicap, take my friend's money, all those fun things. And I have a skill set and some knowledge that can help people, so. Justin, I did not need to hear that, bro. 78 in Phoenix. You have the AC on. That, I think that comment qualifies as cruel and unusual punishment. You're in violation of some part of the Constitution there, because I didn't need to hear that. Just kidding, bro. I'm happy for you. Get out and play. Take your friend's money. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I can appeal to people's gambling instincts, then why not? I mean, if the goal is to play better golf. Hey, Liam's here. Welcome, Liam. Thanks for saying hi. Appreciate you guys. We've been talking about it a lot on the channel recently, guys, but I finally feel like there is a purpose and a mission behind what we're doing here beyond just golf. And that is using my experience, talking about topics that are important to me and that I feel are stigmatized in a negative way, namely sobriety and mental health stuff. Things that are important to me that I like talking about in addition to golf. And so if those things resonate with you, hit that subscribe button. Or even if they don't, that's the cool part about social media. You could say, you know what, I'm not actually interested in golf or sobriety, but I know somebody who might be. So maybe I'll send it to them. Maybe I'll, you know, subscribe so that more people see this stuff. Liam says you have to swing harder. Well, not when we're doing this drill, bro. Swinging the club with one hand. We've got this paddle hand. Just pushing on the back of the grip. Really learning how to swing the club with our body and our lower body. So, I feel very strongly, guys, and you're working on these kinds of drills and working on your ball striking. Slowing down is really, really beneficial. Also, Liam, if you need a tiny bit of proof, I'm not trying to humble brag, but I mean, I have hit the center of the face a whole bunch, right? So that is the skill that you need to develop. And speed and hitting the ball a certain distance, that is a different skill. And I would contend that trying to work on them simultaneously is going to really hinder your progress. Right? So you can make it even smaller, really slow it down. That's the worst thing to do, swing harder. Tempo is so important. I agree with Eric. Speed will come, guys, but you've got to learn how to hit the ball properly. Hit the center of the face with a square face. Glazing, said Double D. Liam said nice setup. Thanks, Liam. Appreciate you checking it out. We do free lessons in here for people that have questions about their golf swing, I work on my own game. Right, I'm doing this paddle hand drill right now where we're just swinging the club with our body and the lead side mostly. New mat needed. Yeah, we definitely do need a new mat. I get that comment pretty regularly. At the same time, I do think there's still plenty of life left in it, so there's a lot of good spots I can hit off of. It's not fully ready for the garbage bin yet. The goal is to try and repeat a tempo that you can easily repeat and stay consistent. I agree, Eric. And I made a post about this recently, but tempo is like the glue that holds your swing together. Because some days it's not going to feel great. You're going to, present the club more open or closed than normal. But if you have good, solid tempo that you can rely on, you know that you can manage your way around those things. Santa's going to bring me a mat. That's awesome, Pinto Beans. Good for varied lies. Yeah, we definitely could practice some varied lies out of here. Don't you know, pump it up. How fast can you swing and hit it in the middle like 10 times? That's a great way to think about it, guys. Don't try to add more speed until you feel like, if you swing at a certain speed, let's call it 25%, right? Well, if you can swing at that speed and hit the ball solidly and squarely 10 out of 10 times, then you're probably ready to add some more speed. 4. Oh, you're good, Liam. I'm glad you're here, bro. Thanks for checking out the stream. We're doing this most every day. Well, we're streaming every day for sure. It's just not always outside. Will you play at that speed on the course? I definitely don't. When I watch your swing, it's so effortless. From your wedge to driver, it's the same tempo. Well, it's taken a lot of practice, Eric. I don't know if that helps or makes you feel better, but it has not always been that way. It took me years and years of practice and working on my tempo. Here, we can hit some full swing ones if you want, Eric. Or double D, sorry. Just trying to make sure this doesn't start blowing away on us. Definitely does feel more behind me when I properly turn. Let's see how the swing looks on the camera. Yeah, really nice. Love the plane that's on. Could probably even get it a little... No, it's just a really good plane. An old guy on my course always used to say to me, hit it half as hard, it'll go twice as far. That's a good way to think about it. Let the club do the work, right? If you're out there trying to muscle it, you definitely have a harder time. That's about as good as I can hit a 7-iron, guys. Right dead nuts in the center of the face. Guys, if you're enjoying hanging out, you are, maybe you wish you were out practicing, or maybe you're somewhere warm and you're like, hey, I respect this guy is out grinding, hit that subscribe button for me. Got all kinds of cool content already on the channel, more coming. There's so much contradicting information on YouTube. Any recommendations on creators to pay attention to other than the great John Young? Well, I'll let the chat opine as well. If you guys have other golf creators that you like. I think Seguto Golf does a really nice job of explaining things in a understandable way for beginners. Absolutely flushing it right now, guys. But my philosophy is there's so much swing instruction, right? Get your hands in this position, get the club here when it's in this, and that's all interesting and sometimes good, but I think people miss the point of instruction. And like the reason you work on your swing is so that you can deliver better impact conditions. And if you watch the PGA Tour, you know that it's very possible to have a wide variety of swings that still produce excellent, repeatable impact conditions, right? Look at Jon Rahm compared to Jim Furyk. Totally different golf swings, both world-class ball strikers. So I think people would be better served learning impact, right? Just do a bunch of drills at slow speed, learning how to get this club on the ball consistently. Hit the ball first, hit it in the center of the face, and control where the face is pointed. Those are the 3 skills that we need for impact. Do you prefer thin or thick grips? Great question, bro. I have these jumbo grips on at the moment. I really, really like them. These are Tour Velvet Jumbos. I started the year in standard size grips, so I've made a big change this season. And I'm not going back. I might even go to bigger grips, like the Jumbos, the Jumbo Max. Because I've never hit the ball straighter. How do you translate the exercise to a course? Well, it's not for practicing everything, right? But you can do tons of good work in a setup like this, working on, like I was just saying, impact conditions, consistently striking the ball in the center of the face. If you need to work on mechanics or, you know, shifting your plane and the way your body's moving, this is an awesome way to do that because you don't have to worry about the negative feedback associated with seeing the ball fly through the air in a way you don't want it to. Hey, behind is here. What's up, bro? I like Segudo. Stack and tilt guy, exactly. Yeah, he's very, like, you know, stay centered on the ball. Just learn how to hit it solidly. That was flushed. It does feel much more behind me, like I'm actually turning. I know it's such a minute difference on video, but the feel is totally different. But I like how the swing looks. So do you concentrate on hitting it solid on the course or just play for fun? I'm not sure I follow your question. I play tournament golf. I've played off of a scratch handicap for nearly a decade. So I like competitive golf more than I do casual golf. You know, I feel like I'm usually either going out to practice or I'm going out to play competitively, whether that's, you know, like a money match or an actual tournament. Is anybody else playing golf this weekend? So hopefully somewhere warm. I don't think I'm going to be playing golf this weekend, not if it's this kind of weather. Playing in my backyard, there you go. Double D said Trackman Golf. Trackman Golf is great. So again, guys, don't be afraid to slow things down. You can make a nice full swing, but do it at a slower speed and really try to focus on what it is you're working on. What's the best way to practice but dealing with an injury? Well, what kind of injury? Pinto Bean says, have to wait for the snow to melt before the course opens again. I know, I feel that, bro. It's not fun. My general advice, because I've dealt with lots of injuries, is ask your doctor, number one. Like, what is, you know, safe activity? You don't want to make it worse. And in line with that, if you're doing something and it hurts, stop doing that thing. A little stuck on that one. Really good. Really, really good strike there. Let me see it. Show me the money. Yes, that's what we're looking for right there. Don't you know, pump it up. My trail hand. Yeah, so I would say, you know, anything that's going to hurt your injury or make it worse, definitely don't do that. You might need to do like just some chipping and putting, whatever you have tolerance for. It is hard to rest and let your body recover, but I've been there. Sometimes it's just what you got to do. Should I play with the swing speed that allows me to hit the center every time 10 times on the course? Yeah, I don't think you should swing the club faster than you can reliably hit the center of the face, bro. That might feel like 80, 75% on the golf course. So like 10 miles an hour. Well, you might need to develop a little more speed, or maybe you got to work on your ball striking, right? If you can only, you know, reliably hit it solidly at that kind of speed, then do that. You know, you got to crawl before you can walk. You got to walk before you can run. But yeah, that is the skill that you need to develop, is hitting the ball solidly in the center of the club face. You know, my on-course swing feels to me kind of like 85, maybe 90% of my max. You know, just trying to feel like it's smooth and reliable. Not trying to kill the ball. If Phillip Rivers can play in the NFL at his age, I can get the scratch someday. I agree with that, Pinto Beans. I know you can get the scratch someday, bro. Man, it's cold. Do you decrease the speed on the course if you hit like 8 of 10 dead center? I mean, you're not going to hit it out of the center of the face every single time. I think the point is more, don't swing so fast to where your contact is getting, you know, really away from the center to where you... How about this? Don't swing so fast that you can't control your misses. Right? If you're trying to swing so hard that you're going to potentially be hitting balls like out of bounds or chunking and thinning it. Glad that makes sense, Double D. 60 chatters in the chat now. Shout out to you guys hanging out with me on this very cold day. Getting some work done. Talking all things golf and life. Say hi in the chat, drop a comment. That was smashed. I wasn't trying to swing super hard, I'm just trying to hit it solidly, and you'll find that's really all you need, guys. Because that extra couple miles an hour of club head speed that you might or might not generate, as soon as you lose the strike, it's going to be a net negative. All right. I guess I'll just slow it down then. And you can, you know, do it in practice too. You don't have to do it only on the course, right? But when you're practicing, don't be afraid to work on your swing. truly at these, 25, 30, 40% type of swings. You can do the same thing if you don't like that. You can make a full swing, but do it really slow. And really just make the swing that you're hoping to in slow motion, right? So for me, that's always trying to stay nice and balanced. Turn. Little pause at the top. That can be really, really good as well. Man, my toes are frozen. Said 3 miles an hour. Well, before you know it, it'll be 4, and then it'll be 5, and then it'll be 6. Then you're off and running, right? I feel like you're hoping for me to give you some sort of magic silver bullet, and it just doesn't exist, guys. You gotta work at this stuff slowly, build your skill set. These things take time. You're not gonna figure it out overnight. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. I've got time, that's for sure. Best golf exercises for beginners. Do you mean like physical exercises for mobility, or do you mean for swing and hitting balls? Just give me a little more context of what you're looking for. For swing, I got you, bro. So the main thing, if you're a beginner, that you need to learn and develop consistency in is what we call impact. Impact is how you deliver the club into the golf ball. And we know because, just watch on TV, there's all kinds of different swings that can generate speed and get the ball, the club on the ball. You could swing like Jim Furyk, like this. You could swing like John Rahm, like this. All kinds of shapes to the swing. Stream is getting me pumped to set my net up. Unfortunately, I have to work. Well, you'll get there, JRT. There's time. Right, so your swing can be all kinds of different shapes, but the key is impact. Can you hit the ball first and then the turf? Can you hit the ball in the center of this club face? And can you control where that club face is pointed at? So those are the 3 skills that you need. And what I would tell you to do as a beginner is just work on those skills at very, very slow speed. So you see pros, you see people who've been playing for a long time, they make these big, long swings, right? Hit the ball super far. If you're a beginner, that's not for you, okay? What you need to learn as a beginner is this. How do I hit this ball towards my target? How to hit the ball first and then the turf? And seriously, if you're like really a beginner golfer, you should spend 90+% of your time learning that skill. How do I get this club onto the ball consistently? With just a teeny tiny swing. And then once you feel extremely confident, like you're never going to miss it, you're never going to, hit it offline at that speed, then you add a little more speed. And that's how you build your swing up. But it all starts at impact. You have to learn how to hit the ball solidly. How about for strength and mobility? I think you need to do a lot of rotational work, is what people say now. So things with bands, like I have these bands everywhere for, doing rotational exercises, right? I do a lot of lower body stuff, so squats and deadlifts. There's a video called Yoga for Golfers. I think the lady's name is Adrienne, something like that. That's a really, really good one that I like. Hey, welcome back to the stream, my friend from Korea. Bro almost pulled down the whole tent. I don't know about that, bro. It's pretty secure. It's gonna wobble a little, but I don't think it's coming down just from that. But I appreciate your concern. Seriously, I mean, I do this drill sometimes where you're just full setup, full posture, and everything, but it's just a teeny tiny swing like that. You're just learning how to get the club onto the ball. Strong arms never hurts, but I don't know if I would say it's the first thing I would work on. Is it normal to get sore ribs? I get it almost every time. Well, I think that just, takes practice. So there are muscles there that are maybe not used to being worked. But if you're playing golf for, months and months and you're still experiencing that soreness, could be worth asking your doctor about. I'm certainly not a doctor, guys. I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy who likes golf. I like being alive and talking about my sobriety and how I manage my mental health. Like building this community with you guys. It's because your golf ball ricochets. Maybe. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. Guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that like button on the stream. Really does help us out as we continue trying to build this platform and make a difference in people's lives by normalizing discussions around sobriety and mental health. These are not rare, freakish things that people experience. If, I venture to guess that everybody out there knows somebody that has dealt with substance abuse or recovery and or anxiety or depression, mental health stuff. So these are not uncommon issues, and yet we totally stigmatize people that experience them, and it's harmful. It prevents people from seeking care and treatment that would help them. I'll start doing the center hit exercise tomorrow. There you go. My second stream, really enjoying it. Got work in the morning, but I appreciate you being here, bro. Thanks for coming back for another stream. That means a lot to me. If you guys are enjoying the stream like DK, hit that subscribe button. Has anyone read The Easy Way? Super helpful for me. I don't know about this, Pinto Beans. Tell me more. What kind of book is it? Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Just that little extra pause at the top. So key. That's right on the plane, which is what I like to see. What irons you got? Good question, Double D. These are TaylorMade Torpford MBs. From 2011, these came out. Just a blade iron. Not much to it. I've got C-taper shafts in them. We've had these for quite a while. Having put lots and lots of golf balls into that club face, as you can see. The Easy Way is a book to quit addiction. They have one for alcohol, one for nicotine. Logic, there you go. Yeah, like you said, Pinto Beans, just remembering that it is literal poison. No one would ever say, well, I'm just taking a break from poisoning myself, or I'm so surprised I feel better when I stopped poisoning myself. Like, of course you feel better. There it is. That's the plane, that's the tempo. It helped to not really have many cravings. Do they have one for shanks? Good question, Double D. I needed that one the other day. It was a little heavy. Oh, gotta be honest, my feet and my toes are starting to depart. Meaning, not feel totally present. Shanks isn't an addiction, friend. That's why we watch John. And you just start adding a little more speed to it. I thought you guys watched me for my amazing hat fashion, because I have all these cool hats. Your shoes aren't the best for winter. They are definitely not the best for winter, but they're good for golf. They're comfy and good on my joints. There's no snow. Nothing good comes from drinking, period. Absolutely right, Bill. I am coming up on 5 years alcohol-free, and it is the best decision I've ever made. If you guys have followed the channel for a while, you've seen me make videos about how I truly don't think I would be here today if I hadn't stopped drinking. I was headed to a place that I don't think you'd come back from, and you know, I was talking earlier on the stream about, you know, moments in my life when I was definitely suicidal and thought about taking my own life, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because I now have, you know, this foundation, this life without alcohol that everything else in my life is built on. And without that, I have nothing. So it truly, I mean, somebody the other night asked me, like, if I gave you $1 billion, would you have a drink? And I was like, no, because there's no price on my health and my friends and my family and the things I care about. There's no amount of money that can replace those things. So if there is no price, then the answer is no, because I have nothing without that. Coming up on 60 days, I need to start focusing on losing weight and my mental health. Take one at a time, Pinto Beans. But it is a good idea. My experience, my journey was similar. I quit drinking, and then, you know, within a couple months started doing therapy for the first time, and it totally changed my life. Maybe even more so than drinking. I mean, drinking would have killed me, but until I was comfortable with myself and learned how to forgive myself and love myself and understand why my brain works the way it does, I would have found something else that wasn't alcohol. It's just, that is the solution. It's not the problem necessarily. The problem is, you know, being restless and uncomfortable in your own skin. And it wasn't until I did a bunch of therapy and worked on myself that stuff really hit home. But they do, you know, they go hand in hand, guys. You gotta, you know, if you're like I was, drinking shit, going to therapy wouldn't have helped, then, you know, you got to do one step at a time. Just like I didn't quit nicotine until maybe 6 months after I quit drinking, because I knew if I tried to do them both at the same time, then I probably would have failed at both. Congratulations, you've added years to your life. Thanks, Bill. I appreciate you being here. Money is useless without a stable ground. I agree with that. I've never done therapy. The doctor put me on meds when my dad died, but I don't think I can go back to those. I had never done it either, Pinto Beans, and it was really, really scary. I'm not going to lie to you guys and say, like, oh, it was just easy. I just went to therapy and, you know, everything was great, hunky-dory. It was scary. I was terrified the first time. What am I going to say? What is it going to feel like? What am I going to find out about myself? Are there things I don't want to find out about myself? Those are all normal concerns and parts of the process, but I'm so glad that I powered through that fear and did it anyway, because the fear would have existed regardless of whatever decision I made to go or not to go. But by going, I allowed myself to get better. So it's you know, everything is hard, right? It's hard to go to therapy and work on yourself and get better. It's also hard to stay in the same place and be frustrated and not growing. It's just different versions of hard, and you got to pick which one works best for you. I'm on the beach in Goa, India, nice and toasty. Oh, I'm so jealous, bro. Send us some of that warm weather, please. Sycamore said jealous also. Yeah, I bet. Some really, really quality strikes going on right now, guys. Yeah, everybody's jealous. Biswa Prasanna, welcome to the stream. I wanted to make sure I at least gave your name a fair attempt. No promises that I got it right, but I did try. I'm eating prison food in North Korea. How is it, Double D? I love Korean food. I bet you get some decent food there. At least you have cell service. There you go. That's exactly right. Whew, shout out to you guys. 80 chats, 80 viewers in the chat. Help me stop early extending. I got you, Ross. So early extension is a result of, it's more of a symptom. You know, it's a chain reaction that happens when you get the club steepening and going this way over the top. In order to get back to the ball, you have to extend and tilt. Puts a lot of pressure on your back. Early extension pinto beans is when your right hip and is coming off the ground and your hips are moving towards the golf ball. You know, people call it humping the ball at impact. Like some people just stand up and they go like this, because if you're steep and over the top, there's no other way to get back to the ball, right? You have to go this way, otherwise you're going to swing like over the top of the ball. Stream is mandatory. It's on 20 hours a day. I love it. Somebody should tell YouTube, pump my numbers up. So to work on that, guys, the steepness comes from the takeaway being inside, then you go this way to get back to the ball, and then to not miss the ball, you go like this and stand up, right? So that's the sequence or the things that happen to cause early extension. So how do we fix it? And I'm speaking from my own experience because I spent lots and lots of time learning how to fix this. I had to learn, first off, how to take the club back on plane, so where my hands stay in close to my body and that club head stays out. Right? Because I need this room. This is how the club is going to shallow, right? So that's step one. Just learn this move. Hands in, club out. Then the drill that I want you to do that has really helped the most is these freezer drills. So you're going to take it to the top, pause for a full second, and then swing down. And what that's going to force you to do is just be more patient in transition. Almost feel like when you make your normal swing, that club's going to come to a full stop at the top before you send it back down. Because when you get to the top and you throw the right hand and you throw the club over the plane, that's what causes you to extend and go this way. So if you struggle with that, that drill is really good, the freezer drill. I also would tell you, Ross, do some lead arm only swings like this with a step. And you're just trying to feel the sequence of how your body wants to move with this club. You'll notice when you do this drill, there is no early extension. There's no need for it because there's no, like I said, the early extension is a chain reaction down the line. But when you don't have that right hand pressure pushing the club off the plane, you don't need to early extend. You'll notice just how, compact and tight everything stays. Rotates nicely through the ball. So that's a really good one. And if you're still struggling to feel it, just force that hip to stay back, right? Learn how to hit some shots. Put this right foot back and do this at slow speed, right? But you're going to want to feel, what does it feel like to hit the ball and not have my hips going forward? They got to stay here or even, you know, rotate back, right? But this is going to help you feel, oh, I don't need to go this way. I can just stay here, stay in my posture, and you won't early extend. I'll try it at the range. There you go. I've always come up on my toes when I swing. Yeah, it's a very common swing fault, Sycamore. I've spent a lot of time working on this to the point where I now, in my swing, my right foot is pretty much staying on the ground all the way through impact and then coming up after. Not perfectly, but it's much better than it used to be. My hips were not meant for golf. Well, I also used to have lots of physical, mobility limitations and things like that. And it just takes work, I would stretch for 20 minutes a day, every single day. I did that for years and years and years, and I have regained a lot of the mobility that I had lost from being sedentary, from sitting at a desk for 12 hours a day. Wow, this water was not very cold when I got out here, but now it is. So give those drills a try, Ross. I really like this one as well. Like I demonstrated with the foot back, just to feel, pay attention to what the hips want to do from this position, right? They're not trying to go this way. They're just staying back, rotating this way, and through the ball. How cold is it? Last I checked, it was 34. That's what we wrote here. I don't know if you guys can even see that on the screen. No, it's a little too small. Yeah, there we go. That's a little better. Please consider subscribing. I probably could have written that a little better. Yeah, Fahrenheit. 34 Fahrenheit is like 1 Celsius, I think. Like just barely above freezing. Because 32 for us is 0. Jealous of our friend in India. Hanging on the beach, staying warm. Over 100 chatters in the stream now. Shout out to you guys. Drop a like for triple digits hanging out in the stream. Really appreciate all you guys sticking around, supporting me on a very cold day. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. And see, guys, you don't need to make big full swings to get a lot of good work done. You can just do these little half swings. It's like 9 Celsius here. Still not warm, but warmer. Where in Europe are you, Double D? I love Europe. Spent a lot of time in places like Amsterdam and London. Sweden. Oh, very cool. I've not been to Scandinavia yet. Super high on my list of places to visit. How's the golf in Sweden? Double D? Has anybody else in the chat ever been to Sweden? I've never been to Sweden. That is honestly one of my favorite parts about doing these live streams and the power of the internet. We get people from all over the world, and as someone who, my second passion behind golf and maybe helping people is traveling. My wife and I have been to every continent except for Australia. So we'll have to get there someday and check that off the list. But I've done most of Western Europe and been all over, you know, Asia and all kinds of places. But I love getting to interact and meet people from all over the globe. I gotta get a heater out here, guys. We should do that. We should get an extension cord out here. Oh. It's gonna be dark kind of soon, too. There it is. That was really, really good. Really happy with that strike. Yep, that's all we're trying to do, guys. We're trying to drill this muscle memory, getting the center of this club onto that ball repeatedly. Excuse me. Props to you for hugging it out in the cold. It's 34 in PA. Yeah, it's 34 here too, bro. I'm just up the road in Rhode Island, brother. You need a hell of a heater in that wind. I know. I know it. I know somebody that has one of those jet engine ones, like you plug it in and it just, it's like a heat turbine. Might have to borrow that. Don't you know, pump it up. Much indoor practicing, but as the global temperature is increasing, the golf season here might end up being 12 months instead of 5, I know. It does feel like that's where we're headed. I know just from my own personal experience living in this part of the U.S. for my entire adult life, at least full time. I've, you know, spent lots of time other places, but the golf season is getting longer. Climate change is real, guys. Don't let anybody convince you otherwise. 118 viewers. Shout out to you guys hanging out with me in the cold. Do you have the mat directly onto the ground / grass? No, so I have this box. This 2x4 box I dug out a little hole for. And then under the mat, I have these are just like mats. And then I have these gym foam tiles, you know, like you might put on the ground in a home gym, the interlocking ones. And what that does, guys, is it absorbs a lot of the impact from swinging this club into the ground repeatedly. When I was building this setup, and if you're interested in building your own setup, I have a whole video on the channel about how I built this. So hit that subscribe button, go check that out. I was worried about, you know, the impact on my joints and hitting lots and lots of golf balls out here. So that was my solution, and it's worked beautifully. I've not had any injuries. I've hit out here for days and days and days in a row. Love it. Ross says, subscribe. Great info. Looking forward to trying it out. Thanks, Ross. I appreciate that. I have a garage setup. Always thought about a similar setup to you. Well done, good sir. I'll check out the vid. Well, I'm glad you're here, bro. Thanks for your support. We're doing these live streams every day, guys. Posting every day. Using golf to combat the stigma around sobriety and mental health. You know, we tell stories. I talk about my own experience. I'm coming up on 5 years sober, no alcohol. And that is the thing that, you know, that's the reason I'm even here today, guys. I would have been long dead if I had kept drinking. So I'm grateful for a second chance and to have the opportunity to tell these stories and talk with you guys. You know, even like a week or two ago, we had somebody in here who was about to turn 21, and they were like, I got to figure out my my alcohol of choice. I got to do some research because I know I won't have any fun if I don't drink, and I'm about to turn 21, so I gotta start. And I was like, well, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but just so you know, you can have lots of fun in life without drinking. I have way more fun day to day now than when I was a raging alcoholic. But that perception, that thing does still exist. Same here in West Virginia. That's surprising. I thought it might be a little warmer. Yeah, it's definitely going to the value of living in certain places, Double D. I agree with that for sure. Oh, that was really, really nicely hit. Hey, Sly is here. What's up, Sly? Appreciate you stopping in to say hi. We are doing our best to stay warm. Maybe not the most successfully, but... Don't you know, pump it up. I've gotten kind of used to swinging with all these layers on. I'm like the Michelin Man, guys. I got like 4 layers on, 3 layers of pants. I'm from the Northeast, bro. Lived in Mass for a long time. Now we're down in Rhode Island, which is great. Except for this, the cold part. Freezing in Cali, 45 degrees. Well, it won't be forever, right? I mean, it'll be warm again before too long. I mean, I've got 3 more months of this. Unreal is in Boston. There you go. I sometimes miss Boston, but mostly not. Lived in South End for a while when I was there. I do like Boston a lot. But cold as heck here. Yeah, it's not... I'm not so far that it's materially warmer than Boston. It's basically the same. Pretty yuppish. Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. Whew. Guys, don't forget we're doing one-on-one lessons, online coaching on Skillest now. If you're looking for some winter progress on your golf game, you don't have to wait for the spring. There's lots of good work you can do to get ready. So check out the link in the description of the live stream or head to my bio. You can follow me on Instagram as well, John Young Golf over there. What else? RAPSODO and Net Return, 2 of our awesome partners. You can check them out at the links in the description. I think I'll wait till spring. Says you're cooking. I haven't seen the sun in almost 2 weeks. Do we still have one? I feel that. Sidus is here. You're cooking. I know, we are cooking. The wind sounds vicious. I know, it's honestly pretty upsetting. Like, it overstimulates me. I don't like the sound of it. I'm like, just make it stop. Whew. I'm thinning shots, but still taking divots. Well, it's possible that your low point is in front of the ball, but maybe too far in front. If you're very shallow into it, but hitting it thin and then... That is unusual, though, I will say. Alright, guys, we got 4 golf balls left that we can hit. And then I am going to have to go thaw out because my hands and my feet are very nearly frozen. I think it's probably around freezing now. Let's check. Oh, it's 29 now, guys. I was wrong. It's 29. No wonder I'm cold. Any new subscribers still in the chat? We could update our very official tracker here. Whew. 29 Fahrenheit. Yes, exactly. What is that, like -1 Celsius, I would guess? Sly says, you're a trooper. Yeah, well, I'm here for you guys, you know? It's fun to work on my own game, but I love helping people with their game, their swing, answering questions. Continuing to build this platform so that I can share my experiences with sobriety and take care of my mental health, things that have become really core pillars of my content. And just hit the sub. Amazing. Thanks so much, bro. That means a lot to me. .29 with a 50-mile wind feels like the teens. Yeah, it feels cold, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Especially now that the sun is mostly down. I can't say I'm super, you know, I don't have that drive to be like, I gotta hit another round of balls. There is a pretty beautiful sunset over there, though. It's gonna be hard to see for you guys, but nice to take a moment just to be grateful for something like that, a sunset, something that you can just appreciate for a minute, practice some gratitude. You know, I've been complaining about the cold, guys, but obviously I'm incredibly grateful to have mostly healthy body, to be able to come out here and play golf and talk with you guys and do this stuff. Tent is about to fly away. I don't think it's going to. It's pretty secure. Maybe I'm wrong, but so Austin, I would tell you to work on impact at a much slower speed. This isn't groundbreaking, but learn how to hit the ball, you know, solidly with your divot in front of the ball with a really little swing like that. And just drill that over and over and over again until you feel very confident in how you're going to deliver that club into impact. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today's stream. That is all we have time for. But, as always, thank you so much for all your support. Stay warm out there. Hit that subscribe button for me. Go like all the videos. Hit me up on Skillist. Find me on Instagram. All that good stuff. And we'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. Might be inside. Thanks for the stream today, John. You in the chat helped me more than you'll know. Something special planned for my gratitude. Awesome, Jamin. I'm really glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out and being a moderator. Here you go, Sly. Go get warmed up. I'm going to do that Sycamore. Woo! Adios, friends. All right, guys. We will see you on the next one. Really grateful for all your support. Stay warm.